Hello and welcome to my YouTube. This YouTube is remembering the year 1986. Ronald Reagan was president in 1986. I was 42 years old and I was a senior education development executive with Apple Computer. On January 23rd, the first group of artists is inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they included Elvis Presley, James Brown, Little Richard, Fats Domino, Ray Charles, Chuck Berry, Sam Cooke, the Everly Brothers, Buddy Holly, and Jerry Lee Lewis. On the 28th, the Space Shuttle Challenger disintegrates 73 seconds after launch, killing the crew of 7 astronauts, including school teacher Christy McAuliffe. And unfortunately, I watched this on television live. On February 3rd, Pixar is founded by John Lasseter, along with Steve Jobs, who was my boss. And Pixar is the TV studio that produced Toy Story. On February 27th, the United States Senate allows its debates to be televised on a trial basis. On the 1st of March, Halley's Comet reaches the closest point to Earth during its second visit to the solar system in the 20th century. The next time it will be seen is the year 2061. The West Berlin discotheque, a known hangout for United States soldiers, is bombed, killing 3 and injuring 230 people. Libya is held responsible. On April 26th, the Chernobyl disaster. A mishandled safety test at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant kills 4,056 people and damages almost $7 billion of property with radioactive fallout. At least 350,000 people are forced to resettle away from the area. And after the accident, traces of radioactive deposits, which are unique to Chernobyl, were found in nearly every country in the Northern Hemisphere. And that, of course, includes America. On April 29th, a major fire at Los Angeles Public Library caused by an arson destroyed 400,000 books. I apologize for my voice. I've had hoarseness for 2 weeks. I go into the hospital on Friday and they're going to stick a TV camera down my throat and try to figure out what's wrong with me. Wish me luck. On May 25th, hands across America, approximately 6.5 million people form a human chain from New York City to Long Beach, California, to help raise money to fight hunger and homelessness. On July 5th, the Statue of Liberty is reopened to the public after an extensive refurbishing. On August 20th, in Edmond, Oklahoma, a Postal Service employee by the name of Patrick Sherrill guns down 14 of his co-workers before committing suicide himself. On August 31st, at Aeromexico Flight 498, which was a DC-9, collides with a Piper PA-28 over Sarasito, California, killing 67 on both aircraft, and 15 people were killed on the ground. On September 5th, Pan American Flight 73, a flight from Bombay, India to JFK in New York, is hijacked. 21 people are killed during the hijacking. On October 9th, United States District Court Judge Harry Claiborne becomes the 5th federal official to be removed from office through impeachment for tax evasion, in his case. On October 9th, News Corporation completes its acquisition of the Metro Media Group of companies, thereby launching the Fox Broadcasting Company. On October 9th, The Phantom of the Opera, which, by the way, was the longest-running Broadway show in history, it actually opened at Her Majesty's Theatre in London. 1 year later, I was in London, and I went to see this show. On November 3rd, the Lebanese magazine Ash-Shiraz reports that the United States has been selling weapons to Iran in secret in order to secure the release of 7 American hostages held by pro-Iranian groups in Lebanon. This is the beginning of the Iran-Contra affair. On November 26th, Mike Tyson wins his first world boxing title by defeating Trevor Bredick in Las Vegas, becoming the youngest heavyweight champion ever. He was just 20 years old. On November 25th, the U.S. Attorney General Edwin Meese announces that profits from covert weapons sales to Iran were illegally diverted to the anti-communist Contra rebels in Nicaragua. On December 26th, after 35 years on the airways and holding the title of the longest-running non-news program on network TV, NBC airs the final episode of the daytime soap opera Search for Tomorrow. So, who was born in 1986? Now, I'm 81 years old, so I will confess I am not up on all of your latest TV stars, and I'm certainly not on TikTok, and I don't follow any YouTube influencers. So I came across dozens and dozens of young people that I had never heard of. So I'm ignoring all of those people. You may know them. I'm sure many of you do, but I don't know who they are. So here's some names I did know. Lady Gaga. She was born in 1986. L. Ron Hubbard. You may not know who he is, you don't know his name, but you certainly have heard of what he started. This is the man who created Scientology. He's the father of Scientology. Usain Bolt. Here's another name you may not know unless you have followed the Olympics for the last 30 years. Then you absolutely know who he is. This man won 8 gold medals scattered across 3 different Olympics. He is the world record holder in the 100 meters, and that makes him the fastest man on earth. He holds the world record in the 200 meter, and he holds the record in the 4x100 relay. He won the 100-meter gold medal in 3 Olympics, and he won the 200-meter gold medal in 3 Olympics, and he won this race in 2 Olympics for a total of 8 gold medals. Fastest man on earth. One was introduced back in 1986. Well, 3D printing first came out. It was first started way back then. Disposable cameras. You literally threw this thing away once you got the film out of it. The bread machine. I've got one in the closet somewhere. It's been years since we've used it, but yeah, I own a bread machine. The club. This was this long steel stick, and what you did is you padlocked it onto your steering wheel with this lock. And if somebody got in your car and broke in your car, they couldn't steer because this thing was sticking out. Unfortunately, all the thief had to do was cut 2 little notches in the steering wheel to slip it right off, so it didn't last. Dockers. Dockers came out in 1986. The Wave Runner. I've seen a lot of these on the lakes in my life. I grew up water skiing. What were the top TV shows back in 1986? Number 1, The Cosby Show. Number 2, Family Ties. Number 3, Cheers, one of my favorites. Number 4, Murder, She Wrote, starring the very fine actress Angela Lansbury, who just passed away 3 years ago. Number 5, The Golden Girls, and here they are holding their Emmys. And by the way, the Oprah Winfrey Show premiered for the very first time back in 1986. This is a snapshot of her very first show. And she has President Jimmy Carter and Rosalind Carter as her guest. What were the top songs of 1986? That's What Friends Are For. Dion and Friends. Elton John, Gladys Knight, Stevie Wonder. What a cast. Number 2, Say You, Say Me by Lionel Richie. Number 3, I Miss You by Climax. Number 4, On My Own, Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald. Coming in at number 5, Broken Wings by Mr. Mister. So, who were the top singers of 1986? Whitney Houston. We lost her all too soon. Madonna. Janet Jackson. Lionel Richie. And Prince. What were the top grossing movies back in 1986? Which ones made the most money? Number 1 big money maker, Top Gun, starring Tom Cruise. Number 2, Crocodile Dundee, famous for this huge Bowie knife that he had. Number 3, The Karate Kid, Part 2. Number 4 moneymaker, Back to School, starring Rodney Dangerfield. And coming in at number 5, Aliens, one of my all-time favorite science fictions. Really freaked me out when I saw this in the theater. And this is one of the creepiest scenes in the movie, and that's why I chose it. Who won the Academy Award for Best Actor that year? This guy, William Hurt, in the movie Kiss of the Spider Woman. Who won the Academy Award for Best Actress? This lady, Geraldine Page, for the movie The Trip to Bountiful. What won the Academy Award for Best Picture that year? This movie, Out of Africa. The average annual salary for a man in 1986 was $30,700. Let me convert that into today's dollars. That would have been $86,158. That's actually $3,000 more than the average salary in America right now. The average salary, and I just looked this up, is about $83,000. So that was a good salary. The cost of a new average car was $9,255. In our dollars, that would be a $25,973 car. How does that stack up with the real cost of cars today? That's a steal. Looked this up a moment ago. The average car is $48,000 today. The cost of a new home was $111,900. Converting that into our dollars, that would be a $314,000 house. A gallon of gas costs 93 cents. Sounds really, really cheap, doesn't it? But let me convert that into our dollars. That is $2.61. It's still a little cheaper than it is right now. So thanks for watching, and I hope you had some fun.